Wherever we go in this world, our body comes along with us, so to speak. It is of the many items, we might say, in this world that we participate in, that the physical life, the body, is one of those which has immense importance and significance for us. So this mutual influence takes place in our life, a constant dynamic in which the heart and mind has an influence on the body. It can contribute to its health and its well-being. The same heart and mind, its condition, due to the intimacy, can have an unhealthy impact, make us unwell, make us sick. We live in a time in which our governments are unwilling, unable to make any impact on the amount of fat, sugar, salt, and chemicals which are fed through to us day in and day out, with the primary intention in food and drink is to increase the level of addiction to those substances. Food has become one of the most major expressions of substance abuse. The addiction is having terrible consequences on our communities, on the elderly, on the middle-aged, and on the young. And we find ourselves, though recognizing it, helpless and unable, except in few cases where there's enough consciousness, to actually do anything about it. In a time in which our governments are unwilling, unable to make any impact on the amount of fat, sugar, salt, and chemicals which are fed through to us day in and day out, with the primary intention in food and drink is to increase the level of addiction to those substances. Food has become one of the most major expressions of substance abuse. It's a tragic situation. The addiction is having terrible consequences on our communities, on the elderly, on the middle-aged, and on the young. And we find ourselves, though recognizing it, helpless and unable, except in few cases where there's enough consciousness, to actually do anything about it. It's not even easy for any human being to do it for herself or himself. And it's extraordinarily difficult to change this corrupt, rotten food industry and the system that it operates under through advertising. It's very difficult to change any of that. We are controlled, we are oppressed, and the impact on that is widespread on our animal community, on the terrible, tortuous conditions which they live under in factory farms, on the birds, the chickens and other winged creatures, and of course on fish. And then we are told that it's your choice, as though a human being can, just like that, at any moment in her or his life, just decide, I'm going to change my diet, I'm going to change the amount that I eat, I'm going to change what I eat, and I'm going to live a really organic, healthy food diet. And it isn't easy to speak up either. We don't want to say, I live on a plant-based diet. We don't want to say, oh, I am a vegan. We don't want to go to somebody's home or somebody's parties and say, frankly, this is not the food that I eat. We want to please. But in wanting to please, we lose our integrity. We have to keep trust and faith with what is, in this case, a healthy diet. It is a tradition of the Buddha, of exploration, of authority, of you and I finding our voice and not being afraid to express our voice. Not being afraid to say yes to this and no to that. Doesn't matter who it is. And when people start to talk and start to share and start to say, we need to change things, need to change this criminal food industry there, and we need to change it because we are going to change our diet. We're not going to touch that food. We're not going to go into McDonald's. We're not going to go and buy the backside of a cow or the leg of a chicken. We're going to keep away from all of that. In the relationship to that, one needs the capacity, and it's a great one for a human being to have, it is the ability to say no. It is the contemporary action of renunciation, of letting go. I'm actually not concerned with you and I living a long life. It's not the purpose. It's to live well, it's to live intelligently, it's to live happily, it's to live in a healthy relationship with the body.